Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars franchise seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but also let's not forget about their new Star Wars movies and other aspects of the Star Wars lore, like Star Wars Legends making an epic return for the Star Wars brand by Jon and Dave. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars material. Also, if you guys would like to go ahead and check me out at Mike01 on Twitter, you guys can go ahead and do so if you would like to. Now, we're currently in a phase in which we're getting closer to those major announcements that are going to take place by this fall in that November to December time frame. So big announcements coming our way by Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, George Lucas, Bob Chapek, and others about what the future of Star Wars is going to hold. So the Star Wars roadmap, we're going to actually get a nice, beautiful, visually detailed roadmap of the franchise in a timeline format. We're actually going to see all the years, the release dates of some of these Star Wars projects by this fall, and exactly what it's all going to really entail. So the future of the franchise won't be as mysterious by this November to December. So that's one thing to look forward to. Now, the other thing is this, is that yes, we do know that Jon and Dave, they're hard at work on Ahsoka, Mando Season 3, the Book of Boba Fett. I do know that also, of course, we have the Bad Batch Season 2 that's already in the works, that's set to release by next year, 2022. That's also another thing that a lot of fans are really looking forward to as well. However, when we're actually looking at everything related to both Jon and Dave and what they're trying to do with the franchise, they're doing what they're doing, and Kathleen Kennedy and Leslye Headland are doing their thing with the Acolyte TV series and the High Republic installments. So, the Acolyte TV series has been getting a lot of controversy, alright? A lot of skepticism based on many factors, and we're going to be going over more of that today. So now that both Disney and Lucasfilm have been heavily invested in their new Star Wars projects, such as Star Wars Ahsoka and even the Book of Boba Fett, it's described that currently, however, Kathleen Kennedy is still hard at work on the Acolyte TV series for Disney Plus that is set to give fans a view at the end of the High Republic era and the rise of a new Jedi hero that will be considered a Jedi god in a sense. However, recently it's noted that both Kathleen Kennedy and Leslye Headland, the writer of the series, recently made an agreement to hire somebody known in Hollywood as Kevin Smith to direct a handful of episodes of Star Wars The Acolyte series. Further, it's described that Kevin Smith has been in the talks with Kathleen Kennedy for quite some time about coming on board of Star Wars, and that Kathleen Kennedy decided to think about bringing Kevin on board after he himself visited the set of The Rise of Skywalker back in late 2019. Now, Smith is set to direct episodes that are key for the character of Maeve, who is said to be portrayed by actress Brie Larson, that will be a Jedi who actually was created by the Wills, who are godlike beings, deities if you will. Now, this major addition to the series by having Kevin Smith coming on board of the show has, of course, Leslye Headland very excited for the future of the series and the show overall. Kevin Smith is set to also be in charge of some of the storytelling aspects of Maeve for those episodes, that he will be working hand in hand with Leslye Headland on how the series will actually evolve, episode to episode. Smith is getting ready to work on Clerks and is also preparing to work with Lucasfilm by the beginning of 2022. Director Rian Johnson, surprisingly, is also another director in the talks of joining the Acolyte series, since Kennedy wants to give Johnson another shot at the Star Wars franchise. The 12-part series, of course, though the series is said to be in the form of a foundation of identity politics and other aspects that will focus away from storytelling, which has many Star Wars fans very skeptical and worried about how this show is really going to turn out for the entire fandom. In the meantime, Smith is also in the talks of working on non-Star Wars related projects as well that have to do with pop culture. Now, let me just say one thing about Kevin Smith, alright? I know that there's a lot of fans out there that have been very disappointed with him based on what happened with Masters of the Universe. I gotta really add in my 2 cents on this. I've yet to talk about this. I feel that what Kevin Smith did with that show was unacceptable. I felt that it really betrayed the fans. I really feel like that Kevin Smith and what he did with the whole He-Man thing really kind of was the equivalent of what happened to Luke by Rian Johnson. To me, it was pretty much Rian Johnson all over again. And when you look at that comparison between Kevin Smith and Rian Johnson immediately headed to Twitter, praising Kevin Smith of what he did with He-Man, praising him of what he did with Masters of the Universe Revelation. Now, the fact that Kathleen Kennedy is bringing Smith on board for a handful of episodes, we're not quite sure exactly how many episodes, it could be 3, it could be 4. Again, this series is going to be a 12-episode series, and it's going to be very lore-oriented. But it's really going to be focusing on identity politics and really kind of these agenda-driven aspects by Kathleen Kennedy that's not going to be primarily focused on proper storytelling, which I feel it's going to end up being like a Batwoman situation, alright? We're going to have a Batwoman-esque Star Wars TV show where you're going to get a lot of backlash, you're going to have fans backing out, the ratings are going to drop, and then they're going to have to figure out what in the world to do with that show. So, Kevin Smith coming on board of Star Wars, how do I really feel about this? I really think that this is not the way to go. Alright, this is not the way. It's not. When we look at Kevin Smith and what he has done before in the past, hey, good for him, guys, really, good for him. You know, I like Kevin Smith, I think he's a great creator and all. But what he did with Masters of the Universe was just gut-wrenching. It really was. It was a betrayal against the fandom that really loves that character He-Man, and the fact that Smith is also in the talks to be working on non-Star Wars related projects that are going to be deeply embedded with pop culture, it does make me a little bit worried about exactly what else could he really destroy when it comes to pop culture. We've seen Rian Johnson and what he did with Last Jedi's Luke. We've seen Kevin Smith and what he did with He-Man and Masters of the Universe as a whole, and how he essentially lied to the fans. I'm not going to get into the whole entire thing. I'm sure that a majority of you guys already know about the entire story already. But everything that there has to do with Kathleen Kennedy, it seems like that she does not care about what the Star Wars fandom really wants. You know, I believe that if Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni were pretty much the ones calling the shots on the Acolyte show, they would be hiring proper and experienced, you know, well-driven directors and writers that actually care about the fandom, that actually don't lie to the fandom, and are very truthful and honest to the overall community. And that's exactly what you need, and that's exactly why so many fans love Jon and Dave. In fact, we are getting that Luke Skywalker special on August, I believe it's 25th. Yes, it's August 25th, I believe, on Disney+. We're going to be getting a beautiful behind-the-scenes look at the character and exactly how they were able to put him in to The Mandalorian Season 2. Mark Hamill got a chance to dress up as Luke and handling the character of Grogu, which was very nice. So we're going to be seeing more and more of that. So, like I said, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.